holds a candle to Shaker Heights versus the Cleveland Heights. Welcome to another edition of Friday Night Football. I'm your host, Paul Raglio-DeFranco, here with my partner, Dresden Dale. Dresden, how you feeling about tonight's game?
Looking forward to seeing Cleveland Heights bounce back after suffering their first loss of the year last week. Paul, 8-1, got the playoffs coming up next week, so great game to get back in shape, back in the winning column.
We will find out if Cleveland Heights Tigers can rebound after suffering their first loss of the year. As Dresden just mentioned, they will kick off to Shaker Heights to start this one here on senior night. The crowd is packed. Energy is high. Looking forward to another exciting Friday night matchup on a brisk October night.
See, I love the intro. I was trying not to laugh, but all those historic rivalries you mentioned, this one
tops that list for sure.
Past two meetings have been dominated by Cleveland Heights, so we'll see if that continues today.
The kick is underway. It's a squib kick. It's muffed. And Shaker Heights is just going to have to dive on it inside the 10-yard line. I don't know what it is about the Cleveland Heights special teams, but the opposing teams are just never able to field the kick cleanly. Seems like every single time Gabe McKay's kicks just go right through the hands of the opposing team.
Gabe McKay, one of the best kickers, probably the best kicker we've seen all year, not only for consistency, knocking it through the uprights, but also just those kickoffs, very good at the squib kicks, able to pin opponents back deep. And this Cleveland Heights special teams always flies at the football ball, all hustle. Love to see it start the game.
So now we will have the Shaker Heights offense backed up deep in their own territory to start. It's going to be a handoff up the middle and a big hole early on first down. Gain of 12 for the Red Raiders. Brett Moore getting the start for the Red Raiders.
First play of the game for Shaker Heights, first down. That's been rare to see against this Cleveland Heights defense, as generally offenses have a tough time moving the ball against them. Again,
Rain James, the running back, is going to get the handoff that time. Nowhere to go. Read option. Cleveland Heights ready for that one. Knocked him back into the backfield. Makai Webb, the junior, with the tackle for the Tigers. Second down. Halfback to the left, 3 wide. Again, it's going to be a handoff to the right side. Decent gain on second down. Bring up third and manageable for the Red Raiders. So early on, Dresden, Raiders going to that running game, 3 straight runs.
Raiders establishing the run early, trying to stay ahead of the chains. Sets up a third and manageable. Key is to moving the ball against this Cleveland Heights defense, staying ahead of those chains, not falling behind into third and longs, and setting yourself up for success on third downs.
Of course, this Cleveland Heights defense took a hit last week, giving up over 49 points to St. Vincent St. Mary in that loss. Big question coming into today's game is how will they answer? Third down. Make it 3 straight runs. James is going to get knocked in the backfield. And Raiders, after getting 1 first down, he's going to have to punt this one.
Ashawn Sims, the senior defensive end, making a huge play there for Cleveland Heights defense. Got off the block really well. Got the backfield for a loss. Now forces a punt and get this ball into Darion Fair and this high-powered Cleveland Heights offense.
But for Red Raiders, you started inside your own 10-yard line to start that possession. That first down is huge. I mean, we've already seen quite a few times this year where the Cleveland Heights special teams forced a missed punt, a fumbled punt. So give yourself some breathing room really helps here with the punt. The punt is away. It's high. Field at the 40. He's got room to run. Down across midfield. That was Evan Dean with
Looks
the
like
return.
Looks like that was Darian Fair, actually.
Darian Fair with the return.
I was shocked to actually see that, but they did have him back there. He was the one run that up. Nice return, get you the ball on the other side of the 50 and set this offense up for success early.
So Darian Fair, the man under center for the Tigers. That's the first time we've seen him return a punt this year. Did a pretty good job of it. Got across the 50.
Not used to having to catch the ball. He's usually the one throwing it.
And Fair is also the kicker from time to time for the Tigers.
And punter.
And punter,
as well.
exactly.
Yes. Does a little bit of everything.
It's going to be a run up the middle. Breaks a tackle, and he's off to the races. Tripped up, ball is out. And I think the Raiders jumped on it. They did. So on the first play from scrimmage for the Tigers, Darian Fair lost control, and the Raiders will get the ball right back.
What a turn of events for Cleveland Heights, forcing a three and out, getting the ball back, and first play from scrimmage of the game, fumbling. We've seen Darian Fair lose a couple fumbles this year, but all of them have been mostly in blowouts, and this one, first one, really in a time that's actually been a close game. So big loss for him. Also, Paul, I feel like if we had instant replay, I feel like we'd be able to go back and see a knee or something come down there, because it didn't look like he really lost possession of that ball until the end of that run. So unfortunate for Darian.
I mean, he was well on his way to just taking that one to the house. He got tripped up right around the 25-yard line, and I think you might be right, Dresden. That was pretty close. At first glance, it seemed like he may have been down, but nonetheless, Raiders jumped on it. Can they capitalize with the second offensive possession? Handoff up the middle. Again, that is Rain James, the 5'9", 195-pound senior for the Red Raiders. Getting the workload early.
Between James and quarterback Brett Moore, that backfield, Brett Moore stands 5'8", James 5'9", one of the shortest running back quarterback tandems we've seen this year.
Got Moore in shotgun. James to the right of him. Getting the play from the sideline. 2nd and 7. It's going to be a pass. Goes it down and out. Low. Did he make the catch? He did. Nice catch by Aiden Diaz, the tight end for the Red Raiders. Had to reach low for that one, the big fella showing his hands.
Nice catch, and also good quick throw. I know that throws a little bit harder to make as quick as it is. Sets up third manageable again. We mentioned key to maintaining success is staying ahead of the chains and forcing a 3rd and 3. That's manageable if you're Shaker Heights.
Let's give me a play action. Fair again showing his speed on the return. That's 2 good returns now for Darian Fair. And how will he respond after losing the ball in that first offensive possession?
You know, even though he lost the football in that last possession, he's touched the ball 3 times so far tonight, and all 3, he's looked like the most explosive and the fastest player on this football field. I know he already has a fumble lost, but I'm expecting a huge day the rest of the way from Darian. He'll respond. He always does. Coming off a loss, that first drive, and then a fumble as well. So I expect him to respond with a huge rest of this game.
And we have yet to call a game where, of course, Cleveland Heights have lost. They only lost their last game. So we're looking forward to see how they would respond, especially early on. Are they going to come out hungry or are they going to come out flat after their loss? Second offensive drive to Brisker up the middle. He gets a few yards. Owen Bisker, also a senior on this Tigers team. Man, will he be missed next year. Of course, also plays linebacker. One of the most energetic guys on this football team. You already see him come out. Pounding his chest now, flip out to the right. Cuts back. And a nice gain. John Gordon taken down inside the 20.
Already, Cleveland Heights back to that ground game and run the ball very well. The offensive line able to get a good push up front, and these backs as explosive as they come.
The Tigers, have they been doing all year, starting off strong in the run game. 1st and 10 from the 18. Another run. The middle, Brisker. The burst of Brisker. So explosive for a guy his size. Showed it there. And he was, again, the Tigers so close to breaking that one, but the Raiders, another shoestring tackle to keep the Tigers out of the end zone.
Brisker is usually more north and south, so more of a Derrick Henry type, running straight up the middle. Whereas that time we saw some more speed from him, which almost broke it for a touchdown.
Now again, Brisker. Brisker fighting, reaching for the pylon. The ball's out. But I think they're going to mark him down at about the 2-yard line. Wow. Nearly another huge mistake for the Tigers. But they do call Brisker down. And now we're going to get a timeout here from the Tigers. Talk this one over. 1st and goal from the 2.
I do like the timeout here. Can I settle you guys down? Almost another catastrophic play. You can't give up another fumble here. You can't lose the ball this close to the goal line. Gotta get the ball in to the end zone. Get some points on the scoreboard for this offense. They've been moving the ball fine. It's just been that almost close fumble and a fumble earlier. So we'll see if they can punch it in now. I'm expecting handoff Brisker up the middle, let him punch it through. This is what he's best at, getting that hard 2-yard gain for you.
We talked about this last game. He's kind of like a fullback type player. Does the heavy work a lot of the time with the blocking, but when he gets his opportunity, he makes it count every single time. Looked for the Tigers, just feeded him again here and just pound that one in.
And they've got so many weapons. We haven't even mentioned Marquise Davis. He's always seems like busting off big plays after big play. Haven't said his name once tonight yet. Obviously, we've already seen John Gordon, already seen a little bit of Darion Fair, but this offense as loaded as it comes in the backfield.
First and goal from the 2 for the Tigers. Looking to break the 0-0 tie with 5:22 remaining in quarter number 1. Fair under center. It's going to be a QB sneak to Fair. And with ease, found his way into the end zone for a Tigers touchdown. That drive, Dresden, all runs. And again, maybe not as easy as in past games. Usually it's just 1 or 2 plays. That one took a little bit more, but again, that offensive line showing its strength.
Still so many explosive plays for Cleveland Heights. And fishing off, Darion Fair gets in the end zone. Another touchdown for him. He's hit so many this season. Been as dominant of a quarterback in the running game as you can have in high school.
McKay's extra point is good. 7-0 Tiger lead. 5:16 remaining in quarter number 1. And Dresden, if you're the Red Raiders, forced a huge turnover, but they just can't do anything with it. Forced to give the ball right back. And, of course, if you give Fair a second opportunity, you'll make it count every single time. But only down 7-0, but you got to get some points on the board here.
Got to execute a little bit better if you're the Red Raiders offense. They just, we saw that first play of the game. They picked up that first down. Since then, not a whole lot going on offense. The run's been a little bit hit or miss. We have seen them hit a nice out route, which I do kind of like, the quick passing game. That's been kind of the one weakness of the Cleveland Heights defense. And if you're able to exploit that a couple times on this drive, maybe pick up a few more first downs and get the ball in the Cleveland Heights territory, I'd consider that a win for this drive.
Of course, Brett Moore, the quarterback for the Red Raiders. Seen him throw a few times. He is 2 for 2 on the day. I expect a lot more from Rain James as well.
Remember the last kickoff to start the game, Shaker Heights had a little bit of trouble fielding it. Kind of backed them up pretty far back in their territory because Gabe McKay usually tends to squib kick it against most teams when it's more of a closer game. And this Tigers special teams unit flies down the football field, swarms the ball carrier, able to usually limit to minimal game whatsoever.
McKay getting ready to kick this one off. Again, a squib kick. It's a bouncing. That one fielded cleanly at the 15. And take it down just across the 30-yard line. Nice return there by Cameron Jackson, the sophomore. Now the third time we're going to see the Red Raiders offense today. Just one first down in 2 drives. Again, points are key here, but not much.
It's like Jason Davis had a pretty good get off there, pushing the guard back a little bit and able to wrap up the ball carrier. It's the defensive tackle, senior defensive lineman for Cleveland Heights. He has always been a pretty good run stuffer in the middle of that defense. Key to allowing these linebackers to fill up and make plays in the run game as well.
Now an interesting formation for the Raiders. Bunch formation, trips to the right and left. It's going to be a screen pass. Goes out to the right. Incomplete. See if they mark that as a backwards pass. If so, it's going to be 3rd and long.
I like the play call, right? You get blockers in space for one of your better playmakers. Just a poor execution on the throw. Otherwise, I think we could have seen them pick up a decent chunk of yardage. As Cleveland Heights, did not look like they were going to be covering that up anytime soon.
I was about to say, Cleveland Heights definitely looked confused with the formation. Unfortunately, just not executed well at all. The pass was a bit high, though. Still should have been caught. Intended wide receiver was Aiden Murray.
This is the type of plays we've seen teams against Cleveland Heights fail to execute, and then once they do, they start to compound a little bit more, and then that's when those games get out of hand. So we'll see if Shaker Heights can calm down and pick up a first down here.
Again, Moore takes a snap, throws it across the middle. It's got a man wide open. Cuts it back. Taken down at the 35-yard line. That was Damian Cunningham with the reception, and all of a sudden, Dresden, Red Raiders are in business on the other side of the 50.
Great way by Moore to step up. You just missed a throw on an easy screen, so now you come back with a more complicated throw in the middle of the defense on a deeper route. That's perfect execution there to pick up a first down. How about your junior quarterback getting it done there?
Now Red Raiders originally went right up to the line, then they slow it down, make sure they're all on the same page. Again in shotgun. Sends a man in motion. It's going to be a handoff. Cuts it back, and a nice pickup on first down. That was number 5. Jabril Washington getting his first carry of the day.
Could not tell if that was C.J. Landrum or William Berglund, either the right guard or the right tackle there for Shaker Heights. Defender started to go left, so he just pushed him that way, and that opened up that huge hole. Great job by that right side of that line.
Again, Raiders looking to the sideline, but so far, Dresden, Red Raiders holding their own against this fierce Cleveland Heights defensive line. If they get the running game going, we got ourselves a good one. Again, handoff. Trying to get out to the left. He's going to get wrapped up in the backfield. Washington again with the carry. That time, couldn't escape it.
I like the patience by Washington, but there, you just have to hit the hole. He had a little bit of opening. Just got to go because these linebackers for Cleveland Heights are very fast. So in that play, Albert Green just came flying up. So I'm going to make a tackle before Washington can get upfield at all. And Washington's slower paced running style there kind of caught up to him. But we'll see it again. 3rd down, another big 3rd down conversion here.
3rd down. Can they keep this drive going? Another pass. Slant across the middle. That one is well high, and it will fall incomplete. That was intended for Cameron Jackson, number 13.
Imagine if you're Shaker Heights, you're going to try and go for this. We've seen the passing game have some success, so don't be scared to go back to that and see if you can pick up this 4th down.
But more. So far, decent start. Again, that's another missed throw. It's 2nd. Seems a little bit rattled so far in the pocket. Just needs to calm down, hit those easy targets. Would have been a tight window, but I think definitely manageable.
Definitely been a little bit hot and cold so far. Makes some great throws and then missed on some easier ones. But
huge 4th and 6th here for the Raiders. Already down 7-0. Can they keep it going? They're going to run it on 4th and 6. And wow, interesting play call. That one did not fool the Tigers at all. And it's going to be a turnover on downs.
I don't understand why you can have seen your run game to make you run the ball in 4th and 6. I get it if it's 4th and short, you want to run the ball, right? It's usually higher percent chance you convert a 4th and short, so 4th and 1, 4th and 2, by running the ball. But on 4th and 6, especially with the couple big plays they've had in the passing game already, definitely more of a situation you want to throw the ball. Nevertheless, though, Cleveland Heights set back up on offense. Darian Fair, time to go to work, get yourself on the board, and take advantage of this Shaker Heights defense.
2:21 remaining in quarter number 1. The Tigers lead 7-0 with Darian Fair and this electric Tigers offense coming out on the field for drive number 3. Again, their first drive ended in a fumble on their first play. Second drive, they go right down the field, all on the ground. He's able to punch it in. Now pitch to the outside. He's got some room. This is Marquise Davis. Davis lowering his shoulder and brought down at the Red Raiders' 45-yard line. Wow, I love the ending of that run.
Yeah, Marquise Davis, he's only a sophomore, folks. He is so fast, and then we just saw him lay the boom on a defender. So he looked like Owen Bisker there laying somebody out. That's very impressive from the sophomore. His first touch tonight as well. They've had so much success offensively this season. He's been a huge part of it already tonight. Only his first touch. That's pretty impressive.
Again, Fair under center. Play action pass. Throws out to the flat. Dropped. Deshaun Wyckoff, the intended receiver. That one a bit out in front of him, but I think he was looking off field before even securing that catch, Justin.
Exactly right there, Paul. See, on screens like that, receivers typically start to look upfield before they catch the football. You just got to look it in and trust your linemen that they're going to secure their blocks. If he does catch that, his linemen were out in front of him. That's a house call. Easy touchdown there.
And Wyckoff has the speed to take that one to the house. I think you're exactly right. That would have been another 7 points for the Tigers. Instead, 2nd and 10. Handoff again to Bisker. Man, he gets those tough yardage. Even when there's nothing, he's able to push his way for a gain of 3 to 4 yards.
Sets up about 3rd and 7. So the first third down of the night for Cleveland Heights. We'll see what they come out in. Run or pass here, they've been picking up enough yardage through their ground game to still warrant a run.
In a motion, Red Raiders jumped. Looks like there's going to be 5 free yards here for the Tigers. So instead of 3rd and 7, it's going to be 3rd and 2. The refs are talking it over, though, so perhaps one of the Tigers linemen jump first.
It did look like number 10, Stephen Henderson, might have jumped off, I thought.
That's what it looked like here from the booth. Refs talking it over. This is a big call. These are 3rd and 13. 12, Paul can't do math, or 3rd and 2.
Giving Cleveland Heights the free yards there. I wonder if they were discussing maybe that motion. Maybe they thought maybe that receiver in motion maybe took a step forward, which would have been in penalty on Cleveland Heights instead, but end up throwing it on Shaker Heights. So 3rd and short now.
Much more manageable 3rd and short for the Tigers. Again, Fair in the center. Bisker behind him. He's going to get the carry. No, Fair's going to keep it. QB Reed, the burst, breaks a tackle, loses the ball, scooped up by the Raiders. Again, Fair fumbles. Another huge pickup for the Red Raiders.
Another fumble by Fair, and it looked like Fair was a little bit of a bowling ball there. He was bouncing around. Sorry, maybe a pinball there, or whatever the term is. He was bouncing around a decent amount there, and then that last hit just bounced out. It's 2 fumbles on the night for Fair on 3 possessions. Not an ideal start for him at all, but again, they're moving the ball down the field pretty easily. That's a huge run. They just fumble at the end of it.
I mean, Fair was on a mission on that run. As you mentioned, bouncing off wimpy tacklers, and at the very end, he just lost the ball. But again, heads-up play by the Red Raiders defense, taking advantage, and again, jumping on that one. That is already 2 fumbles. Of course, Bisker nearly fumbled in the red zone, but they already marked him down. So sloppy play to start here for the Tigers. Can Red Raiders respond? Down 7-0. Takes a snap, throws out to the flat, and that one is batted down. Batted down by Emmanuel Delk, the senior, making his first big defensive play of the game.
Delk, great way. Realized he couldn't get home for a sack, so he just puts his arms up in the way of the throwing lane. Great play by Delk. Heads up play. Shows off his awareness. 2nd and 10 now for Shaker Heights. You got to feel like you're still in this game. Although Cleveland Heights is obviously dominated on the offensive side of the ball. Just those 2 fumbles keeping Shaker Heights in this game. Got to go get points, though, on this drive.
Moore got in shotgun. Play action. Moore whirling out to the right. He's not going to have anywhere to go. And I think he got the ball stripped from him. Tigers adamantly claiming it's their ball. But the ref, I think, is calling forward progress. They're going to talk it over, but I think that ball was just stripped from Moore as he was going down.
It did look like it was. Also, behind the play, there's a little bit of a confusion as well with 2 of the players from both teams talking to the refs. So, would imagine we'll be getting some explanation after this.
Red Raiders head coach getting the explanation. Because I think he saw what we saw. But man, a lot of exciting plays early. We had some big plays. We have some turnovers here. And we still have 45 seconds remaining in this quarter. It's going to remain Shaker Heights ball. But it will be 3rd and 10. So can they take advantage of the fumble? Oh, again, will they go 3 and out? Moore shotgun. James to his left. 4 wide. Rolling out to the left. Nowhere to go. And he is knocked down at the 6-yard line. Moore took a huge hit for a loss on the play. And exactly what they didn't want to happen, punting deep in their own end zone.
Trying to do a QB sprint out to the left. Unfortunately, it's a little bit hard of a play to make, especially for a right-handed quarterback going to his left. You see the Chicago Bears ran that a lot last year with Justin Fields. Matt Nagy calling that up a lot. Never really worked. So, again, very hard play to execute, unfortunately, and takes a sack, backs them up even further.
So that will do it for quarter number 1. The Cleveland Heights Tigers leads the Shaker Heights Red Raiders 7-0 after 1. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Friday Night Football. We're getting set to start quarter number 2. As Shaker Heights is getting ready to punt this one from their own end zone. Still just down 7-0 after 1 quarter. So they're hanging around. Defense coming up with a couple of big turnovers. Then keep themselves in this one. They're going to have to do it again, though, as Darian Fair and this offense getting ready to get the ball back.
Very slow start for Shaker Heights offense. We've seen them past 5 games put up 20 points 4 times. So they're used to scoring points, have not yet found their way on the scoreboard tonight.
Punt is away already. His 3rd time. That one fielded at the 45. He's got some room. Taken down at the 30-yard line. Returned by John Gordon, the junior running back.
That punt didn't really get much hang time, so Gordon really was able to field that and just get down the field pretty quickly. Didn't see any Shaker Heights defenders down there quick enough because that ball wasn't hanging up in the air long enough for them to run down there. Darian Fair starting on this side of the 50 again. We'll see if he can turn things around. Already 2 fumbles for the senior quarterback uncharacteristic of him, completely uncharacteristic of him.
The punter there, Oscar Braun. I think he's just worried about getting that one out before it's blocked, so can't really blame him for not having the best of punts. And now before the play, there's going to be flags all over the place. See what the call is. Refs are active
12 men
in
on
this
the
one.
field, it looked like, unfortunately for Shaker Heights.
5 yards, remaining first down.
Man,
Two things you can't do, Paul, with men on the field. Not after a timeout, not after a possession change. You would just get so unhappy with that. I remember in high school, my defensive coordinator would get very, very frustrated whenever that happened.
makes sense. You weren't the best football player. Now handoff up the middle. He's got some room. Muscling his way down at the 12. Marquise Davis with the carry.
I didn't say I was the one getting the 12 men on the field call, just our team in general.
We all know you were. That's okay. You don't have to lie to the audience out there.
Keep those chains moving.
Marquise Davis, another second touch of the game, another big play. Keep feeding him the football. He looks like their most explosive runner so far tonight.
3 wide, fair. Again to Davis. Bouncing on tackle, Davis spins around. Taken down at the 3-yard line. Just ran out of room on that time.
Sideline was about 2 yards longer. I think he would have been able to dive into the end zone there. Another Brian Bisker, so going for more of your power back now, closer to the goal line.
Bisker, another difficult man to bring down. Can Red Raiders hold him on 2nd and 3? He gets the carry, explodes through the hole, and he will score. Owen Bisker on senior night gets his 2nd of the day to put the Tigers up 13-0 with 11:15 remaining in the first half.
Love to see that from Bisker. Comes in, gets his touchdown. Good luck tackling him on the goal line. You have to try and stuff him. That's an impossible task. I would not want to be doing that if I was out there right now. That's very hard. Gabe McKay now in. He's as automatic as they come from extra points.
Gabe McKay, just a junior, so he'll be back for another year, knocking down some extra points. One of the most consistent in the league. Again, showing it there.
He's a future Justin Tucker.
Yep.
Future Justin Tucker. I like the cleats too. It looks like those might be soccer cleats. You got some lime green cleats out there. Obviously, the soccer cleat a little bit easier to kick the football.
A lot of soccer players and football kickers, dual athletes, so a lot of time you'll see them both here on Friday nights and throughout the week on the soccer field. McKay with an incredible leg. Shown it a number of times this year. But man, that squib kick of his is so deadly.
It creates issues for special teams. And we saw the last kickoff, Shaker Heights able to field pretty well, but usually every once in a while, one of those will bounce a couple weird hops and they'll get free possession out of it. It amazes me too, Cleveland Heights, they play so many starters out on kickoff. You see Bisker, Marquise Davis, Julius Robinson.
Put your athletes on the field and let them go to work. I love the move. That's a squib kick again, bounces. And they're just going to jump on it. Ball is loose! Bisker! Did he jump on that one? He did! Owen Bisker on senior night doing it all!
Just as we were talking about, Gabe McKay, another tough kick to handle. Bisker, one of the athletes on special teams, right down the football field, picking that football up, winning back another possession for this Cleveland Heights offense.
I mean, man, was that not right on cue?
Gabe McKay came over too. He was pumped up with the special teams coach. Love to see it. Kickers see, like, I love seeing kickers be animated, have fun. Usually they just go out there and kick the ball, go back to the sideline. He's making good kicks. One of the key players for Cleveland Heights.
Let's see if the Tigers return the favor and give it to Bisker again. Fair under center. Sends Davis in motion. He's going to keep it, but there are flags all over the place. Perhaps an illegal motion on the Tigers.
Shaker Heights got lucky. They only had two guys really back there in coverage.
5 yards.
versus 3 Cleveland Heights receivers, so I was expecting a big play there, but penalty bails him out. Pushes back Cleveland Heights too. This is a key 5 yards.
You can tell Max Stevens thought the same thing. Not happy there on the sideline. But again, gonna give it to Davis on the end around. Davis has room. Ball's out again. But I think the Tigers recovered. What is with that ball today, Dresden?
I don't know, but Max Stevens is going to be having his players walk around the football in the hallways of their high school till next week. That's now already 4 fumbles. They've recovered 2 of them, but still, that is going to scare any head coach.
I mean, sorry, Dresden, but you expect to see this maybe in the first game of the year, but the last game of the year on senior night?
Especially all these fumbles have been on big runs, too. It's not like they're just fumbling at the line of scrimmage.
Bisker taking the carry. Nowhere to go.
They're actually going to mark him down half a yard back. So Bisker lost half a yard. I haven't seen Bisker lose a yard in the running game at all this year. He's always falling forward, always able to make a guy miss or at least knock him over.
That's a rare occurrence, folks.
It's a huge stop there, forcing a 3rd down.
3rd and 5. Again, Bisker up the middle. Fighting, diving forward, but I think he's going to be a couple of yards short of that 1st down marker. I expect the Tigers to go right up to the line. Again, give it to Bisker, try to get that 1st down.
Looks like that's Tim Switzer in there, all in the defensive line for Shaker Heights. He's been in those past 2 plays. Not 2 nice run stuffs of Bisker. 4th and short. I love the aggressiveness for Max Stevens to go for it, though. See if they actually do or if they're just trying to get him to jump off sides.
Tigers changing the play at the line. Fair under center. Again, no, Fair's going to keep it on the read option. Spins around. Fair will score on 4th and 2. Turns to 6 points for the Tigers. Darion Fair making it look easy.
Another spin move from Darion Fair. We saw that earlier this season. He breaks out on occasion. As easy of a touchdown run after the spin move as you can get. What a run. What a way to respond to executing after those fumbles. Bounces back with another touchdown run. Now, Paul, already a 3-possession game just like that. It was just going in the 2nd quarter, only a 1-possession game. Shaker Heights still in the game, but now down 21 points.
It's crazy because
it's so hard to come back from that.
Cleveland Heights arguably played one of the worst first quarters of the season. And now here early on in the 2nd quarter, they still hold a 21-point lead.
Even going back to last week when they lost to St. Vincent St. Mary's, it was still tied after the 1st quarter. So we saw them basically give up 2 free possessions and still be leading after the 1st quarter today. So Cleveland Heights looking very good on offense outside those fumbles, but huge for Shaker Heights now. Down 3 scores, time to start throwing out all the tricks in your playbook. Gotta get down the field, gotta score a touchdown here, get back into this game.
21-0. Cleveland Heights leads over Shaker Heights with 9:15 remaining in half number 1. As moments ago, we saw McKay's squib kick lead to an Owen Bisker recovery. Can they do it again here? Already 2 times today, the Shaker Heights return team has had trouble fielding the ball. One of the times they just jumped on it. Might just have to do that here. Another squib kick. That one bouncing. It's jumped on it at the 18-yard line. Man, the special teams of the Red Raiders really struggling today.
Cannot imagine their special teams coach will be very happy tomorrow morning with them whatsoever. But now backed up again, deep in your own territory. Have to go, what is that, 81 yards for a touchdown now.
Deep in their own territory, and yet this is the best starting field position they've had all game.
Keep making it so hard on themselves. It's just, it's hard as hard as it is already to move the ball against Cleveland Heights defense. Doing it backed up in your own territory makes it even harder. So I expect them. We saw it earlier. They had a huge play through the passing game on a key 3rd down, if they can get back into some of those deeper passes, see what's there, see if you can hit another big play and get yourself onto the Cleveland Heights side of the football field.
Where's the Aiden Diaz take the pass? He's going to throw it across the middle. It's caught. Makes a man miss. Down the sideline. And eventually knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Damian Cunningham again with the big reception.
Aiden Diaz listed as a senior 6'3", 230-pound tight end and defensive end. So comes in, throws a great pass right away, and he looks like a tough guy to bring down if he was to run the ball. So I like the move.
I had to do a double check there. I thought, did Moore just grow about 3 inches in the span of 10 minutes? But no.
I mean, he looks like Diaz looks like a shorter Josh Allen out there. He even has his face mask is not your typical. Has some extra bars in it as well. I love it.
But what a gutsy play call from the Red Raiders. Bring Diaz out for the first time today. Throws a dart right across the middle to Cunningham. And again, in Cleveland Heights territory. Second time that's been a big pass play. And that's what we said coming into this one. The Cleveland Heights secondary really struggling. Got exposed last week in the loss to St. Vincent St. Mary. Struggling again today.
And that's been the Achilles heel all year. It seemed like the pass defense, not always the best for Cleveland Heights. They do step up when needed, but we'll see if Shaker Heights can keep moving the ball through the air. I know they've hit some bigger plays now, but we'll see if they can have some consistency throwing the football and be able to punch it into the end zone now.
Now following the stoppage of play. What will the Red Raiders do? First and 10 from the 25-yard line. Again, Diaz out there. Diaz is going to keep it. Direct quarterback run. Taken down at the 28. Going to lose a couple. Interesting play call. Diaz, a bigger guy, not the quickest.
I would imagine it'd be very hard to bring down, but Cleveland Heights had no issue wrapping up and tackling him on that last play. To note, though, on that last stoppage of play, it did look like C.J. Landrum, the right tackle, did have to leave. He's been very good all night in the run game. So backup right tackle in there now. Landrum out. Might affect the running game.
Now Diaz again. He's going to keep it. Diaz, that time showing the burst. Taken down about the 21-yard line. Seemed like an option play there between Diaz and Washington. Diaz decided to keep it. Solid pickup on second down.
Good tackle by Albert Green. If Albert Green didn't wrap up there, I think we would have seen a touchdown, as there was not too many more defenders in between Diaz and the end zone on that last run. Looks like it'll be about third and 4, 3rd and 5. Manageable third down once again here for Shaker Heights.
3rd and 5. Diaz again going to keep it. But that time blown up in the backfield. First to the ball, Jason Davis, the senior defensive lineman for the Tigers, making a play.
Jason Davis been in the backfield now several times tonight. Just taking his offensive lineman and walking him right back, able to shut that lineman then and then make a play on the quarterback. He's looked dominant in the run game all night tonight, all in that Tigers defensive front.
As we expected, Diaz and this Red Raiders offense going to stay out there on 4th and 5. Already down 21-0. Got to convert here. It's going to be a throw. Diaz throws a tight coverage. Was that caught? It was. What a catch.
Great catch. It looked like that might have been.
Aiden Murray with a phenomenal catch. Diaz threw that one in double coverage, threaded the needle, and somehow Aiden Murray came down with it.
It looked like he might have caught that on the back of the defender. That was insane catch. And key, too, that's a huge conversion. Sets you up in a goal to go. Well, actually, not goal to go yet. You're outside the 10-yard line. So within the 15-yard line, though. First time tonight they've been in the red zone.
Another pass coming for Diaz. Looking, throws it to the end zone. He's got a man. Touchdown, Red Raiders. Brian Mitchell gets Shaker Heights on the board.
Great throw by Diaz. He had kind of looked off a defender, realized he didn't want to throw it to one area of the field, came back, found Mitchell wide open in the end zone, throws a dime. Paul, I thought he was Diaz was going to throw back to the left side of the field. He had a little bit of a corner route that I thought was going to open up, but Tigers covered up pretty nicely. Comes back and finds another receiver in this passing game. Diaz showing he can get through the progression and make timely and accurate throws. I like what I'm seeing out of him so far.
I mean, talk about a confidence booster. Comes in for his first series of the day as quarterback. Leads the Red Raiders right down the field for the first score of the game. All of a sudden, Dresden, 21-7.
21-6. Looks like he missed the extra point.
He did miss the extra point.
Special teams coming up with another L for Shaker Heights. Failing to execute on some kickoffs, miss your extra point. Cannot be very happy with that unit if you are Shaker Heights coaching staff. But what a drive there from Aiden Diaz. First drive in, like you mentioned, right down the field, scores a touchdown, converts on some third downs, picks up a fourth down with that nice throw to Aiden Murray. A great touchdown pass to Brian Mitchell. They're really starting to open up the game, the passing game as well.
Keep in mind, that drive started back at their own 19-yard line. As you mentioned, Dresden, a big third down pickup, a big fourth down pickup. Now let's see if the Red Raiders can convert another turnover here.
The 50-50 pot is up to $300.
Big drive coming out for Shaker Heights as well. If you can get a stop on, force Cleveland Heights to punt. Remember, Cleveland Heights gets the ball to start the second half, so there's an opportunity for Cleveland Heights to go 2 for 1 and get 2 scores before the half, coming out of that second half, excuse me. So if Shaker Heights able to force Cleveland Heights to punt or somehow get the ball back, would be ideal because you don't want to fall down an extra 2 scores to them.
They're getting ready to kick this one off. Really, Red Raiders special teams. If not for them today, I hate to keep harping on them, but cost their team at least 7 points. Make that 8 now with the missed extra points.
Yeah. See if they can redeem themselves here.
Really seems like the score, this game is a lot closer than the score indicates. Again, 21-6.
All those fumbles for Cleveland Heights, too, make this feel like a couple different bounces of the football, and this could be a completely different game.
Kick will also be a squib. That one is muffed, then scooped up. And taken down at the 24-yard line. Beautiful kick coverage by the Raiders.
Jackson Ward flying down the football field, junior tight end, making a nice play, nice wrap up. Cleveland Heights' worst starting field position of the game as well.
As that one was returned by number 89, Marcellus Harris. First time he's seen action today. Here comes Owen Bisker in that Tigers offense. Bisker already 2 touchdowns and a fumble recovery on the kickoff. He's having one heck of a first half. Fair's going to keep it. Makes a man miss, cuts back. Fair down the sideline. Darion Fair has some blockers in front of him. Cuts back. Fair will score. What a run from Darion Fair!
This crowd, as soon as he started running, started to get on their feet. Darion Fair gets an open space, has his blockers in front of him. Can't catch him. Cannot catch him.
The main event, QB1 himself, Darion.
What a way to get the crowd back into it, huh, Dresden?
It got loud there for a minute. I love it. I love the energy. Darion Fair is able to pump in this crowd. You know, he's responded so well tonight. He's had those 2 early fumbles. Since then, kept it clean, moving this offense, huge run after huge run, maintains composure. So you love to see out of your senior leader, senior quarterback, and in my opinion, one of the better quarterbacks you can find in Ohio high school football.
McKay's extra point right down the middle. And after a huge score for the Raiders, beautiful drive, methodical drive down the field, and just one play, Darion Fair says, don't forget about me.
That's like the Cleveland Heights we're used to seeing all year long. We haven't really seen those huge plays like that as often in this game, but Darion Fair shows you what this offense is capable of. One play, 7 points, give all the momentum back to Cleveland Heights. What a way to respond to. You just give up a touchdown, momentum starting to shift a little bit. Shaker Heights feeling a little bit better about themselves, and Darion Fair says, nope, take it myself for a touchdown.
28-6. Cleveland Tigers lead over the Shaker Heights with 6:12 remaining in quarter number 2. Here on senior night. Packed house today. As you just heard, I'm sure, crowd went ballistic on that fair run. Showing support for their home team. Kicks us away, McKay, another squib. Picked up at the 15. Trying to get the edge. And a decent return. Cameron Jackson, there is a flag on the play. The return may all be for naught. But we see Tawan Morris arguing with the refs here, so if that's any indication, this one might be on the Tigers.
3, possibly 10, 15 yards for Shaker Heights would set them, I believe, on the other side of the 50, so huge call here.
Still awaiting the call. The much anticipated call, I'll say.
During the return, 10 yards from the end of the run, first down.
And it will be a holding on the Red Raiders. So that decent return, all for nothing.
Maybe Tawan Morris was the one that got held because he was the one kind of shrugging shoulders to the ref. I thought that penalty was going to be on him, as did
Yep.
you, I believe. So it's a big call and backs them up again, back in bad field position once again for this Shaker Heights offense.
The previous drive, they started at their own 18-yard line. Ended with a score. This one, pretty much the same, starting at the 20. I expect to see Aiden Diaz back out there, and he is providing a spark in this offense, which was lifeless before him. Takes a snap. Throws across the middle. Picked off! Intercepted! Perez Lemon walks into the end zone for a huge defensive score.
Perez Lemon waited to read the quarterback's eyes. Aiden Diaz throwing that slant no matter what. Looked kind of like Andy Dalton last night, if that States Cardinals game. Staring down his receivers a little bit too much. Perez Lemon reads quarterback's eyes, jumps the route, and then you're not catching him. Easy walk-in touchdown for Cleveland Heights.
I think Diaz thought he had his man one-on-one coverage, just completely overlooked the DB Lemon. And as you mentioned, Dresden, just read the quarterback's eyes, and the rest is history, as they say.
Diaz now 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. One for Cleveland Heights and one for Shaker Heights. So are getting some big plays, though, regardless.
As McKay's extra point is right down the middle. But, man, Diaz, first drive comes in. And I just mentioned 21-6. We got ourselves a ball game. And just under 5 minutes of gameplay, a touchdown for the Tigers and a pick 6. Now they lead to 35-6 with 5:56 remaining in half number 1. McKay getting ready to tee this one off. He's seen plenty of action so far in this first half. Good kick. And Raiders will just take it out of bounds. Picked up by Damian Cunningham. That time just made a beeline for the sideline.
Cunningham Cunningham didn't want any Tywan Morris or Marcus Davis.
Damian Cunningham.
Both screamed down the football field. I don't blame them. Just take it, go out of bounds. Save yourself a little bit.
You got a career to look forward to. But man, Dresden, Aiden Diaz, what is going through his mind right now? First drive, looking like the hero, bringing him down the field. Next drive, first play, pick 6. What do you do?
I mean, keep throwing the ball. Don't let that one pick 6 discourage you. I would say can't turn the ball over again. You play pretty perfect ball to get yourself even back in this football game, but can't let yourself go. As we've seen Josh Allen, right? Josh Allen, beginning of his career, kind of turned the ball over a lot. He usually bounced back pretty well, though. We'll see if Diaz can do something similar.
Now Diaz trying to throw, somehow gets that one away from him as he was going to the ground.
Pass on the way by number 3, Aiden Diaz. Second down,
Emmanuel
for
Delk
Red
with the
Raiders.
pressure. Diaz had no time. As Delk came in unblocked.
We've seen Diaz, though, now. He's hard to bring down. He's so big that even a defensive lineman coming in, it's hard to wrap up, bring him to the ground because he's such a bigger quarterback. And typically, we just saw start the game, Brett Moore, he's 5'8". They jump up to a 6'3" quarterback, and Aiden Diaz, it's such a big height disparity, and it's just a lot tougher to bring down, even on sacks.
Again, Diaz in the gun. Quarterback draw. Diaz lowering his shoulder as a swarm of yellow shirts bring him down, but that just shows it right there. Took 5 Tigers defenders to finally bring him down. He is a big body.
Tackle by Hole, Holston Tiger.
3rd and 5, so that quarterback run still in play here.
Third
You can go
down
back to that
for
short
the Raiders.
passing game, or if you want, take another shot down the football field, trying to expose this Cleveland Heights defense.
It's going to be 4 wide. Drew Walton to the right of Diaz. Tigers showing blitz. They do. Diaz rolling out to the right. Diaz throws it. Incomplete. Tigers came in there with the linebacker blitz. Diaz did a good job of warding it initially, but just couldn't find it in one as it falls incomplete.
We don't see Cleveland Heights blitz all that too often because they really don't have to, but whenever they're feel like they're in an advantageous spot too, these linebackers get home quite easily. Force the throwaway and force a punt, it looks like, from Shaker Heights. 4:54 left on the scoreboard for Cleveland Heights, so still time for them to get 3 or 4 more touchdowns before the end of the half.
Now Jackson Fowler. 3 or 4 more touchdowns. At least, I'd say.
They've been really moving the ball on offense very well this past couple of drives, but
Punt is away for Fowler. That was a deep one. Gordon had to run back to retrieve that one. Wrestling taken down at the 30. But wow, very solid kick by Jackson Fowler, the senior for the Red Raiders.
yeah, we saw Gordon. He was up around the 35, 40-yard line at the beginning of that kick. Had to go back and get that one. The Fowler really got in that kick. It's a great kick for a high school punter. Good kick coverage as well. And this, again, Cleveland Heights starting on their side of the 50. One of the few times they've started on that side of the 50. But the last time they started on the side of the 50, Darian Fair, huge touchdown run. So we'll see if he can do it again.
Fair's out there. Bisker in the backfield. Sends Davis in motion. Fair throws it out to the flat. This one's the Wyckoff. Wyckoff showing off his speed. Down across the 45-yard line. So many weapons on this team, Dresden.
We don't even talk about Wyckoff enough. We saw him early in the game drop a screen pass. This time on the screen pass, looks it in, catches the ball first, gets upfield. Those linemen are out in front, eager to get out on some cornerbacks and safeties and get some easy blocks in space. And Wyckoff able to show off the speed, pick up a huge chunk of yardage.
Again, Davis on the motion. They pitch it out to him to the left. That one is blown up in the backfield. Beautiful pursuit by Aiden Murray.
First and 10 with number 6, Rain James.
Defender there pushed up the field really well.
Second down
Almost
for
was able to get Davis before he was able to catch that pitch cleanly. Thought he was going to force another fumble, but Second and long now for Cleveland Heights. I wonder if they'll try and pick up some more yards through the air, Paul. We haven't really seen them air their ball out too much tonight, but that last screen pass they threw went for a big chunk of yardage.
Now Fair rolling out to the right. Play action pass. Takes a shot downfield. Incomplete. Had Wyckoff open downfield. Had a couple of yards on the defender. Just Fair. Well short. Nearly intercepted.
I know Wyckoff was wide, was starting to have a step on his defender, but Darren Fair had John Gordon wide open in the flat underneath. I know it's not the flashy throw. I know it's not the 30-yard down the football field throw, but that was a first down, possibly even a touchdown, because Gordon's electric in space. Just give him the ball, let him take the 5-yard dump pass. No one within 15 yards of him. Huge play. Darren Fair just missed there.
Now late substitution here for the Raiders.
It's looking like Shaker Heights is kind of showing blitz, so it might have some one-on-ones outside.
Fair throwing it out to the flat. The ball's on the ground. They're going to call that one incomplete. Wyckoff again, the intended wide receiver.
Pass to number 3.
But Fair kind of threw that one out in front of Wyckoff. Sort of make a diving effort forward, couldn't pull it in. And now 4th and 10 for the Tigers. And dare I say, the punting unit comes out here?
Yeah, first punt of the game. And Darren obviously will stay on the field because he's a punter as well. Bisker, their long snapper, typically is 2. It looks like he is in there. But huge first play of this drive, and then 3 straight plays just not going anywhere for Cleveland Heights. I think we jinxed the ball. Shaker Heights getting the ball back. We said Cleveland Heights able to score 3 or 4 more times before the half, but they're punting, so.
Fair punts it. Short kick. Takes a favorable Tigers roll before it goes out of bounds at the Red Raiders' 33-yard line, which is where Aiden Diaz and this offense will start. 3:14 remaining in half number 1, 35-6. Cleveland Tigers lead over the Shaker Heights Red Raiders. Dresden. Tigers got to get something in here, at least make this a game in the second half. Got to go out and score a touchdown.
We've kept saying it, but all their drives are big at this point. You have to try and score points on every single drive. Be more aggressive on 4th downs. Try and lead your offense out there and get some more points on the scoreboard.
And on 1st down, it's going to be an offsides. It looked like Shamar Malone, or pardon me, that looked like Daquan Johnson for the Tigers. Jumped off sides.
Now, 1st and 5. I would like to see Shaker Heights maybe try to start executing and get back to what they were doing 3 drives ago on that touchdown drive.
Halfback right, 4 wide. Diaz passing. Looking, those are across the middle, incomplete. Intended wide receiver was Aiden Murray.
Cleveland Heights there went with a delayed linebacker blitz, so linebackers firing, blitzing the quarterback about half a second after the ball is snapped, and that just brought enough pressure to make Diaz throw the ball away there and force an incompletion. Even though the blitz doesn't get the sack, it still affects the throw-in. Great play call there by Cleveland Heights defensive coordinators.
Again, we're going to get the 4 wide set with James to the left of Diaz, but now we're just going to get a timeout here on the Red Raiders. Some confusion as the play clock was winding down. It's the first timeout of the half.
Second and 5, so we've seen them go with the quarterback run with Diaz a few times. He's thrown the ball most of the plays he's been in the game as well. I do like the timeout, though. Make sure you're on the right page. You want to try and pick up the 1st down on 2nd down. Don't allow yourself to get in that 3rd down situation because we haven't seen them necessarily been the best at converting those 3rd downs. They've had to punt several times tonight, so hopefully they can execute pretty well here. We'll see what they can do.
Still 3:07 remaining in the half.
Plenty of time, plenty of time.
Still have time to put it on the ground. Again, Don't necessarily take your time, but no need to rush just yet. Again, Diaz out there. The big Drew Walton to the left of him. If the big fella gets the ball, no, Diaz, quarterback keeper, nothing. That hasn't worked all night. And again, that one blown up in the backfield.
Jason Davis, once again, in the backfield, pushing his lineman back, making a play on the quarterback. That's the third or fourth time tonight we've called his name on making tackles in the backfield. He looks so good from the defensive tackle position.
Now we get a timeout from Cleveland. Seems like Max Stevens wants this ball back here with 2:56 remaining in the half.
I do not blame him. Get the ball back in Darian Fair's hands once more before half. See if you can get another touchdown strike out of him. I know Darian can't be very happy after how that last drive ended. Gets confidence back up heading into halftime. Once again, the Cleveland Heights coaching staff, as good as they come. So much trust in this team, but also they always execute, always come out on special teams, hustling, always have obviously great sportsmanship as well, so disciplined.
That was almost the biggest jinx of all jinxes, but the refs call an unsportsmanlike conduct on the Red Raiders, not the Cleveland Tigers.
Good job again by Cleveland Heights of being disciplined, not getting those penalties. Almost really did jinx them. But yeah, like I was saying though, just so well coached, and you can see it. The coaches all so much teaching going on the sidelines, able to talk to those players very well, coach them up. Now huge, that forces Shaker Heights down third and forever.
Man, Red Raiders coaching staff still talking to the refs. Don't know exactly what caused the unsportsmanlike conduct. But it's going to make it 3rd and 5 even longer now.
Make sure you visit that concession stand and get you a senior night Tiger Pow. Also Snickers and nachos.
Now we are set to play. Third and distance. Let's see what Diaz and this offense can do. 4 wide. Walton to the left. Diaz looking. Takes a shot downfield. He's got a man. Just out of range. For intended wide receiver Miles Shelton. That would have been a huge play, Dresden.
Give him half a second more. It looked like Diaz was getting hit as he was throwing that football. Give him half a second more. I think he's able to deliver an accurate football. And that could have been for a touchdown because there wasn't too many defenders back deep for Cleveland Heights. So huge play by Cleveland Heights defensive line getting in, forcing some pressure, and forcing that errant throw from Diaz.
Just a little bit more air on that throw. Most likely 6 are the Raiders. Instead, Jackson Fowler's back out there. Called his name plenty of times today. Again, John Gordon back there. Last time, punt went over his head. Punts away. It's a high one. Gordon's got it at the 40. Gordon up the middle. Gordon still going. Trying to get the corner. Gordon! Still on his feet! John Gordon will score!
There's a couple flags, though. Gordon, though, showing the speed, gets out in space, and he's gone. That was impressive return. Makes a couple guys miss. But it looks like there might be a block in the back or a holding here on the near sideline.
But again, Tigers showing off their speed. John Gordon with the return, but you're exactly right, Dresden. Looks like this one's going to be coming back.
During the return, we had a hold. Number 7, the returning team. 10 yards, spot of the flag, first down.
Jameer Cliff called for the holding. negates an impressive Gordon touchdown.
See it so often on punt returns where returner starts to get out in space, starts to run away from defenders, and then your guys blocking the defenders start to lose track where those defenders are, try to rip away, and then get called for a holding. But still, though, great return from Gordon, shows you what he's capable of. Obviously, a threat back there to return punts. And now, get another shot for Darian Fair. Go out there, try and pick up a touchdown before the half. Still 2:30 left, 2 timeouts, so plenty of time for Darian to manufacture his offense down the field.
Fair and shotgun. Davis to his left. 4 wide. Fair takes a snap, rolls out to the left. Throws it across. Missed his intended wide receiver. Jameer Miller had him on that down and out route, just underthrew him.
Fortunately for Fair, rolling to his left, not able to make as accurate of a throw with the pressure in his face, but still not a bad look down the field. He had his receiver open. These receivers typically find their way open, just sometimes Fair inconsistent with the ball placement. It is a difficult throw to make, though.
Right-handed QB going across his body. Again, Fair. Quick throw. That one is completed. As Wyckoff again is thrown out of bounds. That one, Dresden, much more manageable throw for Fair. Just quick down and out by Wyckoff. Hits him right in the money.
Yeah, quick game as a quarterback. There's some of the harder throws to make, actually, because you're catching it and just throwing it as soon as you catch the snap. Saw Darian Fair execute very well. A nice throw to the sideline. Put it in only a spot where his receiver could catch it. Wyckoff makes a great play. Picks up 7 yards and sets up 3rd and short.
4 wide, halfback left. Golden in motion. He's going to get the handoff. Pardon me, that was Perez Lemon with the carry. He was close to the marker because then he got pushed back, but I think forward progress is going to give the Tigers a first down.
Forward progress does give him a first down. Great run by Perez Lemon. Picks up that first down. Able to keep the chains moving and set this offense up in the red zone.
Just over 90 seconds to play in half number 1. Tigers lead 35-6. They're looking to add on to it. It's the Tigers taking their time. There. Another motion looking to the end zone. He's got a man wide open. Touchdown. Who else? Deshaun Wyckoff does it again.
Fair had multiple receivers wide open in the end zone. Finds Wyckoff for an easy pitch and catch. Wyckoff deserved that touchdown too. He's been looking great all night in the passing game. Had that one early drop, but since then, 3 or 4 nice catches. Caps off his day with a nice touchdown reception. This offense, 42 points in this first half. Cleveland Heights looking great on that side of football.
Talk about a beautifully executed drive with most plays coming through the air. So Fair showing he can do it all as McKay knocks down the extra point to bring the score to 42-6 in favor of the Tigers over the Shaker Heights.
I'd say Cleveland Heights responding very well tonight. Obviously, first loss of the season last week, and then all the times tonight where they've faced some adversity, whether it be fumbling the football, giving up a touchdown, they've stepped up. They've came back out on defense, amped up their play when they were fumbling on offense. On offense, some 3 and outs, they come back with a touchdown. They look amazing on all units tonight again. Way to respond from that St. Vincent St. Mary's loss. And 42-6, Paul, still a minute 11 left, so still time for another score if you can somehow get the ball back.
Of course, scored just 21 points in that loss a week ago. They had 21 already here early in the second quarter. That is up now to 42 with a minute 11 remaining in the first half. McKay. Again a squib. And again, the Raiders are just going to jump on it. I mean, it's cold out there, Dresden. Of course, probably a little bit harder to hang on to the football, but, man, kind of some inexcusable mistakes for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, it's been like that on every kickoff so far tonight. And when you have to fall on the football like that, just you don't get any return. You're starting at your own 16-yard line, 17-yard line. Makes you have to go the length of the field on every drive, which is just so hard to do against Cleveland Heights defense.
Despite the large lead for the Tigers, the crowd still as energetic as ever. Pack stands here on senior night.
Say almost as packed as it was on homecoming.
Yep.
Definitely two of the bigger crowds we've had this year.
Now Davis on first down, throws across the middle. What a catch! Did he come down with that? Brian Mitchell just made the catch of the day. Climbed a ladder for that one. I was able to hang on.
Diaz, nice throw in there, able to get it over the top of the defenders. Mitchell makes spectacular catch. Thought the ball was going to get picked off, and Mitchell able to come down with it. And the Shaker Heights offense is moving.
Now Diaz again, throws across the middle. That one is picked off. Picked off by Paramount Jr. Makes a spin move. Down at the 35. The tip drill to himself, Paramount Jr.
Gets the assist and the interception. Paramount Jr. all year long, he's been so good in coverage. Comes up with a huge interception there. Gets his offense back on the field. Great return. He had that spin move, looking like Darion Fair, that spin move. Love to see it.
Seems like on the return there was a late flag. Probably a block in the back on the return by the Tigers. It's going to actually be a holding on the Tigers after.
First down.
But the interception will stand, and Paramount Jr. will maintain its high real play.
Great interception, and then also that spin move still. These guys, Cleveland Heights has so many guys who can hit the spin move. You don't really typically see the spin move in the NFL as often, but Cleveland Heights, you see it 1-2 times a game at least.
There's got to be a drill that they go through in practice where it's just spin move after spin move after spin move, because it is showing here.
Especially if offensive lineman trying to tackle Paramount Jr., who's hitting spin moves. That's so difficult for any offensive lineman to try and bring down.
Keep in mind, Paramount Jr. is a freshman.
Yep.
So be prepared for a lot more exciting plays like we just saw for years to come. Now 5 wide. He's going to take the pass, rolling out to the right. Fair. Thought about throwing, decides to keep it. Taking out the 44. And the Tigers are going to quickly call a timeout. Max Stevens raced over there to the officials with 33 seconds remaining in the half. But Fair, of course, time not exactly on your side. That time, Justin, you might just have to throw that one away.
Yeah, Cleveland Heights trying to hit the big play. When it's not there, I like to see Fair just either take it, run out of bounds, throw the ball out of bounds. Gaining 5 yards there really doesn't do a whole lot for you because you only have 33 seconds to go the rest of the way of the field. But still, though, I like the aggressiveness coming up by Cleveland Heights trying to hit a big play on first down. Now we'll see only one timeout left in your back pocket, so have to be a little bit more conscious of the time if you're Fair. But those big plays have been there all night. We'll see if they can hit another one. Also, I don't really hate him trying to run the ball because he's such a threat with his legs. If he had one more half a step on that defender, he's gone back for another touchdown. So such a threat with the ball in his hands. See them going 5 wide again here. I love to see it. Start to see some of these other talented receivers like Jamel Miller checking in the game.
Five wide. Safety playing back for Red Raiders. Now Fair, under pressure, somehow escapes. Then he launches this one to the end zone. It's a fight for the ball.
He caught it.
Was that caught?
He did.
Fair just threw up a 50-50 ball, sort of like a Hail Mary, and somehow the Tigers came down with it.
John Gordon, I think that's John Gordon, came up with that pass. Dang, very impressive. Darren Farrell also avoids 3 or 4 sacks on that one play alone, gets that ball off with an absolute heave to the end zone. Now we get a timeout for Shaker Heights.
Shaker Heights now calls a timeout. 13 seconds left in the half. Dresden.
That pass was completed to number 5, John the Magician Gordon. Still trying to figure that out.
I mean,
Turn on the
Dresden.
back, Paul. So we saw Darren Farrell avoid 1 sack, come back, has more pressure, come up behind them, able to just get the ball off right before the throw, right before the pressure hit him, and then just throws that ball on an absolute rope to John Gordon, able to go up and win a 50-50 ball over 2 or 3 defenders around him too. Super impressive.
I don't think I've ever wanted to have a replay
More than that.
more
last
than now. I mean, Fair, first off, somehow escaped getting sacked. Looked like Johnny Manziel out there on Texas A&M. And then just throws up a 50-50 bomb at the 5-yard line.
And John Gordon's a running back. He's not even a receiver, able to make that throw, make the catch.
That
So impressive.
is the play of the year so far for Cleveland Heights Tigers. Left my jaw wide open, but can they finish the job? First and goal. Fair rolling out to the right, wide open man, touchdown! John Gordon again!
Their offense is just so hard to defend on that goal line. You have play action with the 2 big running backs going through the hole. Your whole defense thinks Bisker's getting it. It's 2 yards. They're going to hand it to Bisker. They're going to hand it to Bisker. They're going to hand it to Bisker. And then nope, Darren Fair pulls it. Easy, nice dump off pass to John Gordon, who just made a spectacular catch to set that whole thing up. Offense is outstanding. They put 49 points in the first half, and they fumbled the ball 4 times tonight. Obviously, they only lost 2 of those, but still, this offense, as dangerous as it gets.
You got to be good to be lucky, but sometimes, man, you got to have a little bit of luck on your side. And Tigers had it there as John Gordon. That's got to be a Sports Center top 10 right there. 1 play later, he finishes it off with an easy touchdown catch to put the Tigers up 49-6 over the Shaker Heights Red Raiders with 8 seconds remaining in half number 1. Whew. We have not had a chance to catch our breath this half.
You know, I said like the 3:30 mark, right? Cleveland Heights still had a chance to score 4 more times. I was kind of exaggerating. They still scored 2 more times since then. And there's still 8 seconds left.
I mean, man, at some point.
They started this quarter 7-0. They scored 42 points, Cleveland Heights alone, in the second quarter. That's unreal.
McKay's kick is away. Another tough hit. Just scoops it up in time. And now he's got some room. Down the sideline. Down at the 50-yard line. As time expires in the half. Cameron Jackson almost made something out of nothing there. He did make something out of nothing.
Tiger Nation, the winning ticket is green. The winning ticket number is 947. Winning ticket number is 947117, and the color is green. If you are that lucky raffle ticket winner, please report to the booth.
Per OHSA regulation, we have a 30-point differential. We will have a running clock.
Welcome back to half number 2 between the Shaker Heights Red Raiders and the Cleveland Heights Tigers. Cleveland Heights leads 49-6 at the start of half number 2. Therefore, there will be a running clock the rest of the half. The kick is underway. He's got some room to run. Right off the start, Marquise Davis will take the opening kickoff of the second half. Touchdown!
Marquise Davis touched the ball very few times tonight. They haven't really needed to give him the ball, but when he has, he's struck big time. Once again, start the second half. Touchdown, kickoff return. He is so explosive once he gets out in open space. So hard to bring down. He's only a sophomore, Paul. He's got, after the season, 2 more seasons of Marquise Davis running kicks back, taking handoffs to the house.
I didn't even have an opportunity to reintroduce ourselves. I'm Paul Ragler-Franco here with my do-it-all partner, Dresden Dale. But, man, Marquise Davis stealing the show early in the second half. And I think that kickoff return just shows the difference in programs right now, difference in teams between Cleveland Heights Tigers and the Red Raiders, who can't even pick up the ball, let alone return the kickoff all the way.
Yeah, Paul, you started this game off with a reference to the Bears-Packers rivalry. This is a big rivalry game in of itself, Cleveland Heights versus Shaker Heights, and it's kind of starting to feel like the Packers-Bears game from back in 2014. Packers went to the half up 42-0, absolutely dominating, and that's exactly what you're seeing here from Cleveland Heights, just all over Shaker Heights, up in this one. Huge, big lead in a rivalry game, and really proving the point that they are the better team in rebounding off a loss last week to St. Vincent and St. Mary's, and as good of a manner that you could possibly wanted.
I think Green Bay would be beyond fortunate to have Darian Fair as their QB right now instead of Aaron Rodgers. They are just terrible this year.
We might keep Rodgers, but take their receivers. Heights receivers significantly better than Alan Lazard and Romeo Doubs. But yeah, nonetheless though, get Cleveland Heights kicking off the ball again. Paul, we've seen Shaker Heights several times today have issues fielding the kickoffs from Gabe McKay. McKay, even though he's a kicker, we talk about him a ton, totally deserves it.
56-6. Cleveland Tigers put up a 50 piece on them. McKay's kick again through the hands, and this one's going to go out of bounds. But it might have hit the Shakers Heights return man. It does go out of bounds, so flags are thrown. But if that did touch the Red Raider, the flag should not be called. Nope, they saying it went through his legs. Kick out of bounds. So McKay, a rare mistake from him.
First down.
Ball didn't look like it. It did look like it hit his hands, but still, I thought it was a good kick from McKay. I believe it did hit the Sugar Heights hands because you have to be out of the ball. If you touch the ball and it goes out of bounds, that's a live ball. So fortunately for Cleveland Heights, can't catch a break there. But still, this defense come out ready to play the second half. Let's see if they can shut them down.
Halfback right. It's going to be a handoff up the middle to Rain James. And back out there at QB is Brett Moore. Saw him in those first couple of possessions back in the first half before Aiden Diaz took over the realm.
Diaz still out there at tight end, going back to where he started the game at, but did lead that one touchdown drive and then followed up with a pick six and a few unsuccessful conversions. So they go back to Moore. Some more of the running quarterback hand the ball off more often.
Halfback right, 4 wide. Moore's going to throw it. That one is well short as it falls incomplete. Dresden, what do you think of the QB change here at the start of the second half?
You know, personally, I would have kept in Aiden Diaz at quarterback just because he was able to throw the ball a little bit deeper down the football field. Still able to hang in that pocket, too. Harder to bring down. You know, Cleveland Heights defensive line had a tough time sacking him. So I would have left in Diaz, see if he could at least get yourself some more points. But if Moore's your typical starting quarterback, maybe they want to try and build some confidence for him going in case you make the playoffs and see if you can build up any momentum for the rest of the way of the season.
Again, the Raiders are battling for a playoff spot right now. This game not helping their cause. It's going to be another throw across the middle. That one's deflected. Intercepted again! Cleveland Tigers Another pick six! Trey McNutt! No, Perez Lemon! Again!
Second one for Perez Lemon. 2 pick sixes in one night for the senior on senior night. And now another tip ball. It's that second interception of the night for Perez Lemon and second interception of the night for Cleveland Heights off a tip pass.
Man, Lemon making a case for having the best hands on this team. A team that is just stacked at the wide receiver position, but Lemon doing it again. What a catch. Reached out for that one, got it with his fingertips. And again, showing off his speed as he takes it to the house. As McKay again knocks down the PAT. 62-6.
Again, go back, start of the second quarter, it was 7-0. They've put up in a quarter and 15 minutes of ball play, they've put up 56 points. That's incredible. I mean, 2 pick sixes, you have a kickoff return for a touchdown. Offense just absolutely destroying the Shaker Heights defense. Literally in all facets of the game, Cleveland Heights able to find ways to score.
Just to start, the Tigers were looking for. Already with a very comfortable lead to start the second half. Return the opening kickoff, and now pick six.
Gabe McKay is now kicked through. As our PA announcer had just announced, 9 extra points tonight. He has more extra points made than Shaker Heights has points. Just absolutely, again, all areas of the game. Cleveland Heights just superior tonight.
2 touchdowns to start the second half, and we've yet to see Fair on the field. I never thought I'd hear those words come out of my mouth. 9:31 remaining. That's McKay, who's having an incredible night. As you mentioned, 9 extra points made. And some brilliant squib kicks as well. That one puts it in the air. Fielded at the 10. Jackson still running. Found a hole in the kick coverage. Ends up getting wrestled down at the 43-yard line.
Jackson's had a couple nice touches tonight. He's been able to break off a few explosive plays. Unfortunately for him, just not enough of that across the rest of his team. Now, the best starting field position of the night for Shaker Heights. Opportunity now, go get some points. At least walk away from this game with a couple positives. You know, still plenty of time to go put up some more points on the scoreboard. Get yourself feeling better for going forward.
So Brett Moore will come out here again as the quarterback. Now both quarterbacks have thrown a pick six tonight.
This is now the most points that Shaker Heights has allowed this season in any of their games.
First play. Offsides on the Tigers. Emmanuel Austin. Pardon me, John Gordon. John Gordon's had an incredible night, so I think Max Evans will at least let him off the hook for that penalty.
Gordon, he was the one that had that incredible catch before the half to set up a goal-to-go situation for this Cleveland Heights offense. And then the very next play caught the touchdown pass from Darion Fair.
Four wide. Drew Walton to the right of Moore. Sends Murray in motion. Hands it to Walton. Walton, the big fella. Still going, pushing that pile. It gets down across the first down. One of the best plays of the night for Shaker Heights. Just give it to Walton and let him push that pile.
Very impressive. Able to pick up that first down, keep these chains moving, and honestly, give it to him again. They haven't really given it to him too much tonight. Really been in there for a lot of pass protection, but shows that he's able to run the ball very well.
Again, you got to go low if you want to take down players like Walton. He's too big, strong to go up high. Again, Walton's going to take it. That one met head on. Breaks the tackle. Man, is he a fierce runner. Fortunately, had no help from his O-line in that one.
He had to take on 3 or 4 Cleveland Heights defenders, and then 2 more came to the party as well. So just so hard to have to run through that many defenders, but we still saw him knock a guy back. Really hard to bring down as it is.
I mean, you heard that smack, that initial impact from up here. So
It was a hard hit. Wasn't able to get knocked down off of that. Very impressive running. Even though obviously lost a yard, but a lot of running backs have been driven back 4 or 5 yards in the backfield very easily.
and also the physical toll it takes on the D line of the Tigers. Those really start to add up. Now run again. Nowhere to go.
Looks like on the roster we have, 26 is actually Justin Russell. Was not on here as number 26, unfortunately. They might have just give him a different number for this game. So everything we've talked about for Drew Walton's actually been Justin Russell. He's turned himself into a pretty good running back, though. I've enjoyed watching him tonight.
He might as well be Drew Walton at this point because he's played a pretty solid game. But again, that is Justin Russell. To the left of Moore. Now Moore's going to throw it. Across the middle. Bit high for the intended wide receiver. Again, Damian Cunningham. He's been Moore's. Ian Diaz's #1 target today. Unable to come away with that one.
Looks like they're going to send out the punt team. I know, 4th and 12, but at this point, I don't really know if it matters if you give Darion Fair, this Cleveland Heights offense, the ball at the 2-yard line, or if you give it to him at the 45-yard line we're at now. I would just keep your offense out there, try and score some points before this game's over.
And again, Jackson Fowler is going to get some more practice today. He's probably been one of their best players, but that one is blocked. Another special teams disaster for the Red Raiders. Just as I was saying, Fowler's been their best players. Punt gets blocked, Dresden.
So we've had a passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown, a pick six, a kickoff return touchdown, a punt block. What have we not had tonight? It seemed like everything.
Gonna need some aliens coming in here and causing some trouble. And that'll really just check off every box in the book. But man, another special teams mistake. And now we're going to see this Tigers offense go again. Fair in the gun. Bisker to his right. Takes it, gives it to Bisker. Bisker bounces off. Bisker off to the races. It's a foot race, stumbling. He will score. Owen Bisker. Make it a 3-peat for tonight.
Owen Bisker can do no wrong. It'll keep those legs churning at the end of that run, stumble in the end zone, get yourself another touchdown for your senior night.
His 3rd of the day on senior night. Bisker leaving it all on the field. I'm telling you, teams underestimate how fast he can run.
We haven't seen him too much get in the open space this season, but when he does, he's underrated fast, right? He's sleepy fast, as they call it. Doesn't look like the most fast guy. Runs with so much power, but when he gets open space like we just saw in that last run, Bisker can break off with anyone just as fast as any of these other backs that Cleveland Heights has. 70-6 now, Paul. 70-6.
3 touchdowns scored here in the 3rd quarter. Cleveland Heights leads 70-6 over the Shaker Heights Red Raiders with 4:30 in the 3rd quarter. That's one way to respond after suffering your first loss of the season.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, Paul, this game, they've looked so good across all areas of the team. Came out and proved a point that they are very well deserving of a playoff spot, and they're going to look to do some damage once they get in the playoffs next week. We're looking forward to that game.
Okay. Push this one through. Another squib kick. Fielded at the 20. And a big hit. Wow, what a hit. Laid out by Mekhi Webb.
That hit was by number 44, Mekhi Webb. First and 10 for the Raiders.
Now the Raiders will start their new drive at their 40. Crowd beginning to thin out as we near the end of the third quarter. We had some tremendous halftime performances from the bands, from the Cleveland Heights cheerleaders here at senior night. An emotional night, I'm sure.
Imagine most of this crowd, if not even more, will be showing up to their playoff game next week. Obviously, don't know who they'll play yet, but Cleveland Heights, fair to say that they will be one of the higher-ranked teams in Division 1, Region 1 for the playoffs starting next week.
Moore out there, 3 wide. Halfback to the left.
Starting to see some of the backups for Cleveland Heights defense start to filter in now. Still have some of the starters out there, like Jason Davis and Marquise Davis, but some other members of the secondary seem to be checked out now.
Now we're going to get another timeout here from the Red Raiders. Again, some miscommunication, it seems, between Moore and the coaching staff.
Moore only a junior, so still a shot he'll be back as a starter next year. Starting to look ahead for Shaker Heights, but really I'm surprised they didn't go back to Diaz. He had their only touchdown drive of the night. I know he did throw that pick 6, but did look pretty impressive for a couple throws.
Shout out to Kahari Hicks, too. Cleveland Heights offensive coordinator. One of the best offenses in all of Ohio football. Now run up the middle. Not much going for James.
Saw Jason Davis with another nice pushback from his defensive tackle position. Looks like defensive tackle for the Eagles, Jordan Davis, same last name there, but just so dominant in the run game. So he's also been able to get off rush passer pretty well tonight too. Like he looks, if Jason Davis can play this well throughout the playoffs, the way he's played tonight, huge factor for the interior pass rush and just interior run defense for Cleveland Heights defense. Again, I talked about this a little bit earlier, but when he's able to push up the field and penetrate into that backfield, it lets those linebackers flow so much easier to the football. Been a huge key to success in tonight's game for Cleveland Heights defense.
Moore hands this one again off to James. Nothing going for him. But yeah, Dresden, as you mentioned, former Ohio State quarterback of the, former Ohio State coach of the Ohio State University, Urban Meyer, always claims that, you know, if you can get offensive penetration, that offensive line dictates whether a team's going to win or lose. And there's Tigers D-line today, not allowing any type of running game for the Red Raiders. Again, it showed it right there.
Just saw Ashawn Sims break in the backfield, fly up the football field, and make a play from his defensive end position. But, Paul, Ohio State tomorrow, pretty big game against Iowa. No, you're nervous. You're as diehard as they come. You cry after the Clemson game when they lost back in 2019. Hopefully this year, though, it won't be crying. I know I think, a top 2 team in college football pretty easily.
A lot of tears were shed that night. Not a great day for the Paul Ragler Franco household.
That was 3 years ago, though. You're past it.
Yeah, of course, of course. Low snap for Moore. Moore takes a shot. Well short of intended wide receiver Brian Mitchell. He was double covered. Would have been a tough throw to make. Now 4th and 10. And again, like clockwork, here comes the punting unit.
Jackson Fowler, when he's actually been able to get the punts off tonight, he's looked pretty good. He had that one long kick. He's had to rush a couple of them because pressure's been able to get there, but that last kick he had, unfortunately, blocked because his line could not hold up in protection.
This time Fowler does get it off. And it's another great one. Field at the 25. Gordon looking for something. Decent return, 10.
Gordon gets up so disappointed. He's had some huge runs back tonight. One called back as a penalty. Remember that one punt return touchdown that got brought back? I think he wanted another one.
Can you blame him? He's so used to it. He doesn't know how to react when he doesn't score a touchdown, when the ball's in his hands.
19 seconds left in quarter number 3. Of course, that running clock, this game flew by the second half so far.
Amar Lakes now out there as the quarterback for Cleveland. Again, the backup starting to pour in on both sides of the ball. Low snap for Lakes. Barely gets the handoff to Taiwan Morgs, and he is knocked down in the backfield. We've seen this a few times this year, Dresden. Amar Lakes comes in. Kind of a slow start for the offense. Again, right there. Can't really blame him on that fault. On that one, low snap, just had to get the ball off.
Typically, it seemed like the first play's been in every snap. He's either fumbled or it's been a bad snap in every game he's come in this season. Would say, though, Taiwan Morris received that last handoff, not able to do much with it, but he's again one of their fastest guys, and he's one of their backups.
The future is certainly bright, as it always is, for this Max Stevens-led program.
Yeah, we're not even get to see Darian Fair at all in the second half. I don't even know if I've been watching him on the sidelines. I don't know if he even brought his helmet back after halftime. He hasn't obviously needed it at all, but he's never even had it on. He's able to just go enjoy the rest of his senior night.
As we get ready to start the fourth quarter, Cleveland Heights leads 70-6 over the Shaker Heights Red Raiders. No, folks, not the Texas Tech Red Raiders.
You were saying that earlier. I was thinking of Cliff Kingsbury, former Red Raiders coach. I don't think he would have been able to scheme up a game plan to stop Cleveland Heights offense tonight either. So
Imagine what he could do with Darian Fair and all these explosive weapons. Ooh, they are fun to watch. 4 wide. Another handoff to Morris. Again, knocked down in the backfield, loss of 3. Good penetration from the D-line of the Red Raiders.
we've seen Lakes in earlier games this season able to actually throw the ball pretty well. He's a lefty, so I wonder if they'll try and pick up this third down with the pass.
Again, that 4 wide set. Lakes throws it out to the flat. It is caught. This is Wyckoff again. Wyckoff making a few men miss. A late flag is thrown. Looks like they're going to get Lemon for a holding.
Wyckoff's so great on the screen passes. Dropped that one, but since then he's been electric for both the screen passes he caught and also just down the field as a receiver.
On the offense, 10 yards, spot of the flag.
Just get your athlete in space.
Third down.
We haven't really called his name a ton this season, but whenever they do, he's always so productive. I would imagine the playoffs, Wyckoff could become a star for this Cleveland Heights offense.
I saw you there counting, Dresden.
They had 12. That one guy
Heights.
could not make up his mind if he wanted to be on the field or not. The thing got off the field, others have been 12 again.
Now Lakes taking a shot downfield. Ugly throw, and this one is intercepted. At the 50, and he will just take it out of bounds. Intercepted by Cameron Jackson. Not the prettiest throw there by Lakes.
Lakes and Perez Lemon didn't look like they were on the same page whatsoever on that last throw. Kind of just threw it up there. Perez Lemon kept running deep. It looked like Lakes wanted Lemon to stop his route, kind of come back to the football. It did not. Results in that pick. Luckily for Cleveland Heights, not a pick six. So your defense goes back out, try and shut down this Shaker Heights offense. But Great field position for Shaker Heights to try and get more points on the scoreboard and also try and capitalize off of that interception.
Luckily for them, it was not a pick six. Otherwise, the score would have been down to a close 57 points. Again, more out there. And some more confusion. No, this time timeout is on Cleveland Heights. So they're going to sort this one out.
Couldn't tell. They're running a player on the field at the end of that play, so I wonder if they had only 10 on, couldn't get situated. Maybe could try and see if they could just only play with 10 defenders and keep them out of the end zone too. They've been pretty successful tonight.
I feel like these types of games are some of the most difficult to coach for the coaching staff. Max Stevens, you're already, of course, going to win this game with ease. How do you keep your players motivated and playing hard to the final whistle? What do you do?
We saw that against Maple Heights where they were blowing Maple Heights out. Remember the last home game for Cleveland Heights started taking their starters out. Maple Heights started to score some points at the end of the game.
Yep.
And it just kind of kills the mood of your game because you're dominant the whole game, and then the last 5-10 minutes of that game, you kind of just sputter out and give up some touchdowns, which kind of kills your confidence. We did see that start to affect them against St. Vincent St. Mary's last week where they lost, so that bad ending of Maple Heights game kind of could have put a little bit of factor into that St. Vincent St. Mary's game where, if you finish the Maple Heights game strong, gives you even more confidence heading into St. Vincent St. Mary's. Maybe don't lose that game, but we'll see how they finish off this game.
Now more, low snap. And they're just going to have to jump on it. Rain James, heads up play to just jump on the loose ball. But Dresden, I think you make an excellent point. Time taking your foot off the gas late in these games, you think, oh, it doesn't matter. The game's in hand. They come back to bite you in the end in those close games against, St. Vincent, St. Mary, where they give up 2 late touchdowns as they fell in that one.
Get this, Paul. So I just did some quick math here. Cleveland Heights now scored 478 points this season, only allowed 199. Having allowed over 200 points is very impressive.
That's
final stat line of your season.
That's a crazy statistic there. Just shows how dominant this football program is. That's another run to Rain James, picks up a few. Under 9 minutes to play. Raiders don't seem to be in any rush. Third and 10. Three wide. Halfback left. Takes a snap. Again gives it to James. And again, nowhere to go. He's going to lose a yard. It's going to bring up 4th and forever.
Definitely should probably try and go for this, see if you can make a play on this. I'm surprised they didn't take more shots to the end zone in this type of situation.
It seems like the Red Raiders have had success through the year. Of course, they did throw 2 pick sixes, so success. But for the most part, it's where they generated most of their offense today. I'm with you, Dresden. I'm surprised they're not taking more chances.
Yeah.
Take advantage of this weak Tiger secondary.
Run in against this Cleveland Heights defensive line, even their backup defensive line. It's like run into a brick wall. You can't get anything.
Now, 4th down. They're going to hand it off to James again. Would have been tough for him to pick up the first down. He's just driven backwards. Finishing the play there for the Tigers was Mark Rogers. And that's going to be a turnover on downs and Tigers ball.
Marquise Davis kind of came up, made a play from his linebacker position, and then great job by Mark Rogers. Finished that play from his cornerback position. Starting to see some of these backups, such as Mark Rogers, even make plays for Cleveland Heights. Such a talented group. You like to see some of those senior backups get in and be able to finish this game off for them. It looks like I saw him warming up earlier in this game, but it looks like the 3rd-string quarterback, the freshman Asher Wilson, checking into the game for Cleveland Heights. I did see him throwing the ball at the start of the second half, so we see him checking the game, see if they try and get something going with him.
Wilson's going to hand it off to Morse. On his first play at QB, Morris gets about 5.
Wilson only a freshman, so starting to peek into the future possibly for Cleveland Heights. As obviously Darian Fair, a senior, and Lakes is a junior. So some veteran quarterbacks, and now seeing one of the young guns come up.
How do you think the nerves are on Wilson right now? See if they let him throw. Not this time. Again to Morris. Morris, that quick burst. Another solid gain on second down. It's going to bring up 3rd and 3.
If I were to be betting, I would say Asher Wilson is been sitting on the bench all night, cold, and praying right now that they do not call a pass play because he's just like, please just let me have to hand this ball off. Don't make me throw the football right here. But we'll see if they put some pressure on him.
Perhaps here, 4 wide. No, again to Morris, and Morris taken down to the backfield. Solid defense there by the Red Raiders. First to him was Steven Henderson, along with Jabril Washington.
Paul, we will get to see Darren Fair. They're on punt, so Darren Fair, obviously the punter, we will see him in the second half. We said we would not, so he's coming back on the field.
Notice how when he ran back on the field, got a nice applause from the crowd. Who knows, maybe he'll get D1 offers for his quarterback skills or his punting skills.
I think he's got a little ways to work on the punting skills. With how good of a quarterback he is. He's such a dominant quarterback, it's hard to be that good of a punter. I don't know if there's any high school punter as good of a quarterback as he is.
This one too.
On cue.
Right on cue as he ducked that one, but don't hang your head low. Incredible quarterback, but that one was ugly.
I would say Max Stevens, I know, might not love that last play. Did have his starting punt unit out there, did a lot of that block. So
I'm surprised McKay's not out there.
Yeah, honestly, let's see him try and punt.
I mean, he showed off his big leg a few times on the kickoffs today.
It does say technically McKay kicker / punter on the roster, so
Yep.
I wonder if for some reason Darren Fair was hurt. I wonder if they would put him McKay. You know, they just don't punt enough to actually probably
Have to worry about that. Yeah.
Probably practice it, but you're probably not oh, we're gonna go practice punts for 3 hours. No,
I mean, they don't even
keep
have
your offense out there instead.
They don't even have a special teams coach listed, so of course not used to punting very often. Now run for the Red Raiders right at the middle. Nothing going again. James, tough night.
Jason Owens looked like he's checked in the game, made his impact felt. Him and looks like Nesta Cottingham as well, both 2 interior backup defensive linemen, just as effective as the guys before them.
Handoff to number 6, Ryan Jennings.
It's like Dalian Howard,
Second down
sophomore
for the Red Raiders.
defensive tackle, number 77. He's also in the game, so some guys we don't typically see get some valuable snaps here at the end of this game.
Just over 4 to play. 76, Cleveland leads over Shaker Heights. Low snap again. Moore just gets it off. And lowering his shoulder was Vernon Hills, the third. Vernon Hills, the best head of hairs I've seen in quite some time.
Tripel Malu out there. Might actually, honestly, might have better hair than Troy Palmalu.
It's
Could get one of those Head and Shoulders ads, you know, with Palmalu. Some of the Clint Matthews back in the day used to have one.
Can high school students get NIL deals?
No, that's why. Remember, that's why Quinn Ewers left Ohio State or left high school to go to Ohio State.
Yes,
and then,
yes.
yeah. Unfortunately.
Or he cheated Ohio State out. 3 wide. Moore. Again, going to hand this one to Hills. Hills driven backwards.
Wow.
Ooh, that is a man who made that tackle. That was Dalian Howard.
That was a huge play. Knocked off a helmet in the process. Again, these backup defensive linemen even getting penetration.
That brings up 3rd and 10. Red Raiders have yet to get a first down in the second half. Going in the wrong direction now. It's actually going to be 4th down. And again, Late substitution here for the Raiders.
I believe they only have 10 guys out there right now, actually. Yeah, they only have Cleveland Heights only 10 players. Getting their 11th guy on the field right now.
As the play's going, he runs onto the field, but Fowler just boots this one away. And Gordon lets it bounce once, returns it at the 1 yard line. Can he make something happen? Get in the edge. Gordon tripped up. Whew. Gordon had some room to work, but there is a flag by the sideline official. It's going to be a holding on the Tigers.
Gordon gets up again. So disappointed he's not able to make up for that earlier play. Remember, he had a punt return for a touchdown, called back by penalty. Since then, every punt return he gets, he's just disappointed that he's not able to break it back to the house.
It's rare to see someone field a punt at the 1 yard line and still end up making it past the 20. Of course, there was a holding to help out, but man, he just shows off his speed. And usually that's a coach's worst nightmare. Usually just bouncing in the end zone.
Honestly, next team would probably say, I want my guys to they're all so fast and explosive. They take it to the
from the end of the run.
Hopefully they can get a special teams score to help out with their struggling offense. Who just puts up 70 points with 2:06 remaining.
The sarcasm there. I do believe now, though, we're back to, looks like Amar Lakes checks back in at quarterback. So Asher Wilson, the freshman, his playing time short-lived. Go back to the junior Lakes.
He did not throw a pass, so his prayers were answered. .206 left. So the holding's going to drive them well back. They're going to start this one at the 2 yard line. Check that, the 1 yard line. So Tigers here.
Chance for the 99-yard play. You've seen everything else tonight. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Lakes, quarterback draw. Getting the edge. Lakes makes a cutback, taken down at the 15-yard line. That's a way to give your offense some breathing room. First down from the 1 yard line. A QB draw. Easy 15-yard pickup.
Cleveland Heights is so dominant on offense. Even the receivers enjoy blocking. They're smart about it. Saw 17, one of their backup receivers, Tyshawn Lee, only a sophomore, smartly waited for Lakes to get upfield and then went back on his defender. Didn't block in the back. Didn't hold. Great heads-up play by Lee.
Now Lakes again going to keep it. QB Reed. Gain of a couple. As these final seconds tick down. Just over a minute remaining. Brings up 2nd and 8.
You know, Paul, just to give people kind of a look ahead to the playoffs, in last week's October 17th poll, October 17th poll, Cleveland Heights ranked number 3 in Division I, Region 1 for the playoffs. So only teams they were trailing were St. Ed's, and Menor. So Cleveland Heights obviously looking for pretty good playoff seeding into playoffs. And remember last year, it fell in the playoffs to Medina. And Drew Aller, who's now a quarterback at Penn State. So hopefully this year you don't run into a D1 bound quarterback and can make a deeper run in the playoffs.
I think even Max Stevens will admit they got some things to clean up before next week. Everything is ramped up in the playoffs. Remember, it seems so long ago, but some costly mistakes early on. A few turnovers, a few fumbles, got to clean those up. I think that's got to be a point of emphasis this week for Max Stevens.
Darren Fair losing 2 fumbles in this first quarter, and since then, though, obviously they turned it all the way up, cleaned up all their mistakes, dominated the rest of the way, but the first quarter, completely different ball game than these past 3.
That will do it. As they're just going to let the final seconds run down. The Cleveland Heights Tigers defeat the Shaker Heights Red Raiders 70-6 on senior night. Another dominant performance in all aspects.